And could you please give me your names?
My name is Otto, O-T-T-O.
Otto.
Otto
Okay,
Dittmer.
Otto.
Yeah,
Nice
yeah,
to meet you.
yeah. I forget that it doesn't say that down on the little sign there. So the setup that you want to take the time to prepare is like this. So let this be your mirror. So you've got the chair that you're sitting in, and then you've got two more chairs with high backs, the backs of those chairs facing in. So then these act as our support so that when we do sort of more advanced lifts of the leg, we are in a state of safety so we can explore it. And once you got that all set up, so again, one chair, two chair, three chair, backs of chairs facing in, and have them wide enough so you're not cramped by the chairs. Put a little bit of space for yourself because we're going to be on one side and then we're going to move over to the other side. Want a little bit of room. And then once you got all of that, going to mute everyone. Spotlight. And let's do it. Alrighty, so we begin sitting at the front edge of the chair. Buttock bones plug down through the chair. The chair sort of acts like one of sort of a tripod, you could say. So rather than you sitting back in your chair and letting the whole body sort of collapse like that, we want to use the chair to be a nice, strong, direct connection to the earth. And then our legs act as a sort of secondary connection. So that's this idea of a tripod, 1, 2, and 3. All of that supporting the pelvis and this central pillar. What the Taoist term for that is zhongjung, or central upright. So that's the first thing we want to attend to when we're doing meditation practice, and also when we're getting ready to do any practice of any kind, is arrange the structure so that the central pillar is intact. And then the second principle that's very important and sort of unique, it's called Chunwan, which means relaxing as your means of finding stability. So just consider that idea in relationship to, usually we're tightening, holding, grabbing, right? We're tightening our shoulders, we're locking up our knees, we're tightening up to try to be more stable. That's just a natural response. And the Taoist understanding is, no, don't do that. Instead, first get your central pillar aligned and then release everything. Relax everything. And it's this interesting sensation where at first you're letting go of what you normally rely on for stability. So that's why it's good to start in a chair when practicing it, because when we're standing up and then we start relaxing, it's a little bit scary, right? Because we could tip, especially if we're trying to do it while walking. So we always start here in the chair, getting the sensation of Zhongjung, central upright, Chunwan, or relax everything, release everything. Shoulders, chest, back, belly, hips, legs, everything soft. And when you do it right, and when you practice it over time, what you then feel is buoyancy. So tension constricts and narrows the spaces between joints, the spaces between the layers of the muscle. Relaxation plumps, it makes room, it makes space. in this body. And what we then have is Chun-Won grounds us to the ground, makes us sort of like heavy down below in a good way. And then the third principle that's sort of the product of doing this, right, is Qingling, or lightness and nimbleness. So just think about if you've ever seen someone practice Tai Chi, they have this floating quality. Everything is loose and has this sort of magical quality to it. And so the idea is, where that comes from is that all the grip and tension in your body has to be shook out, cleared out, right? And we've got layers and layers of it. Like Gail was talking about, she's got calf cramps. Some of you might have neck pain. I have scoliosis, so I have it in my back unless I work it out. We all have these dense areas. So what do we do about it? That's what this class and this practice is all about. So we've got Zhongjung, Chun-Won, and this feeling of Qingling, this lightness and nimbleness. Maybe you have a little bit of it. Now, breathing in the nose. Go inhale. Feel that body fill up and expand. Then go out the mouth. Feel the body gently settle and compress. And then again, inhale. Feel that expansion, that opening, that widening, that stretching open. And then exhale. And let's do this 10 breath cycles. The breath is acting upon our structure, our tissue. It's also calming the nerves. It's a calming salve when we inhale long and smooth. Exhale long and smooth. It also is a balm or a salve to the mind, because the mind has a million different ways it could be stressing out or distracted, but we're giving the mind this one present moment event to connect to. You're inhaling and you're watching it with your mind. And then you're exhaling and you're watching it with your mind. And can you do 2 in a row without losing track of it? Can you do 3 in a row, 4? And the mind just settles now down into the body, comes away from all of its chatter in the mind, and just houses itself in our tissue and our nerves. So that's our meditation practice. Practical meditation is just inhabit this body. Let's take 5, 6 more of those breaths. Inhaling long, smooth, and full, and maybe even holding the breath. Just holding full for a moment, 2, 3. And then a nice smooth exhale, where then you hold empty at the bottom. You don't inhale readily. And then you inhale. And you hold nice and full. You're saturating and feasting on the oxygen, trading out the carbon dioxide and waste, and then exhaling and clearing the system. And then you fast. You don't inhale readily. You wait. And then you inhale. So you could do this for a half hour and really get groovy. You know, really find these like expanded mind states, this release of tension and stress. We're only taking a small amount, but use these tools on your own time. When you watch the video, you can press pause here and just do breathing and postural attention for a half hour. That's your whole practice, right? That's how these classes are designed, for you to take the tools and use them. Now our next set of tools, the joint mobilization. We're going to do sort of minimal. There's of course, really intricate work you can do, but let's just do the basic, most important ones here. So your hands are on your thighs. Slide your hands back, your elbows back, your shoulder blades back. Lift your chest up, lift your chin up, and arch your back. So that's all your vertebra in your spine doing what's called extension. And then we want to do the opposite of that. Slide your hands all the way forward past your knees. Don't fold forward. Instead, round back. So you hollow the chest, drop your head, and round back. So now you're doing spinal flexion. And then we go into spinal extension. Slide your hands back, elbows back, shoulder blades back. This would go with the inhale. Holding the breath. And then with the exhale, rounding, following. And then we do it again. Inhale. And we do it again. Exhale. Let's just do a few more of these. Just notice how the body likes this and the brain likes this. The brain doesn't want to sit around stagnant all day. Right? A living body is a flowing, a network of rivers, of nerves flowing, and blood flowing, and muscle pathways flowing. And so one of the number one issues in Chinese medicine is stagnation. Right? This idea that we just kind of sit around and get mildewy, right? We get stuck and stagnant and develop barnacles and stuck spots in our tissue. So here we're promoting flow. We're promoting this term song, another technical term meaning soft, supple, pliable, resilient. I like the word juicy, a juicy quality, kind of like when you see a baby and you go, oh, it's so juicy. That quality that they have, we actually want to promote that in our adult bodies. That's possible. Right, to loosen and be more pliable and supple. Now come back to neutral, this vertical seat that we just had, and just notice what you notice. Often what you'll notice if you've done this movement and you paid attention, you'll go, ooh, I feel a little more space, a little more interior real estate. So often we come to a practice and we feel crowded inside. The body, the tension inside the body makes everything feel kind of like there's no room. But then we do some movement and we go, there's some space. So in that same vein, let's do another set of movements. Left hand forward, past your knee. Right hand slides back, elbow back, shoulder back. Turn your shoulders, turn your head as if to look to the side or behind you. And then let's switch. We come back to the middle. Right hand goes forward now. Left hand and elbow go back. And you turn and look over your shoulder behind you. And then you come back to middle and again, turn the other way. So we're just going to do that 3, 4, 5 times each way. Don't worry about how far you're turning, right? That's a lot of times how we think about things. We go, well, further is better. So then we force ourselves further. Instead, think softer is better. So just how far can you get while remaining soft, supple, relaxed, pliable, so that you're not adding a bunch of tension and grip, which just gets in the way, creates conflict and compression of space. So we're cultivating space. And then as we cultivate space, movement becomes free. We're lighter, more limber, more agile, more nimble, which is what we're trying to get to here, especially as we're aging and especially as Parkinson's kicks in, right? It takes over this ability to operate. And I've just watched it. The better people can find this Tai Chi state, the more control is available. So what we're doing is we're just kind of setting the stage here. We're finding the moving parts. We're promoting their motion. And then come back to the middle, pause in the middle again, and just like a connoisseur, taste the difference, taste the flavor of, okay, I just did something. Is there an effect? And then the third one, very important, is lateral. So drop your arms alongside you, shift your weight to your right buttock, and just soften and lean the spinal column. The head leans a little bit. and then back up to center. And then soften the other way. Lean. And back. So we've got that Chun One quality, the heaviness down through the buttocks, down through the chair, down to the earth. And we want to be empty and light up top so that we're pliable, we're adaptable. So now what we add to this one is as you lean to your left, lift your left wrist, very light. Let it be light like a little marionette string so that you can lean a little bit further and reach that left hand like you're trying to touch the floor, and then switch. And we lean this way, teeter. So we're trying to empty out what's stuck tension-wise. We're trying to say, oh, there's no need for that. Let me just soften and relax and note that the body is movable, pliable. And so initially when we're loosening things, it can feel a little sloppy, right? It can feel kind of like, whoa, how can I control this? But over time, you find Tai Chi movement is incredibly precise. But first we have to let go of what's in the way. So that's where these joint mobilization exercises assist that. All right, and then back to center. And just pause here for a moment. Couple of breaths. Just feel what has changed. You just moved your spinal column in what's called lateral flexion, lateral extension. Now, shoulder blades, really, really important. The scapula on our back, shrug up and slide down. Shrug up. Hang your arms by your side and slide down. So hang the arms so that you're not stuck here, but you can actually feel the arm bone coming along for the ride with what the scapula is doing. So a lot of people think the shoulder starts here, but it actually, the arm starts in the shoulder blade. So when we move the blade, the arm comes along for the ride. So the blade is really important, and it's a very complicated joint. So this is one of the movements. And then the next movement is retraction. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Relax the shoulder blades. Then shoulder blades slide apart, and the arms have to come, the shoulders have to come forward a little. And then relax to neutral. And then shoulder blades back. Neutral. Forward. Now from the forward position, go up. From the up position, go back. From the back position, come down, sliding, 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 find neutral. And then forward, up, back, down. Continue on the back. Blades are separating, staying separated as they lift, squeezing together while lifted, staying together in the back as they slide down, neutral. So with this same idea of barnacles and tension in space, we're cleaning it out. We're making this area flow and have space and juice and lightness and ching-ling, nimbleness. Now reverse. We go back, up, forward, down. This one's often a little weird for the brain, so it also has a neural challenge of controlling the movement. Emptying out what's stuck up top. And we'll do just one more. And down. And then the last one for the upper body, bend your elbows. Elbows flare out and up. So we really want to open all this space here. So get high up, but notice you don't have to shrug these up. These actually stay relaxed, the neck, shoulder area, to allow that to come up. And then softly down, and then squeeze. And then down, and then out and up, down. So any joint and area of tissue and joint relationships that we don't move through their designed range, they are contributing to lack of flow, to feelings of low energy, to awkward clumsiness when we move, to a feeling of sort of stumbly. Anything that isn't addressed is adding to a problem, right? Now we go back, we go down, forward, and then up. Now, as the elbows go up, notice where my hands went. They went down, hands down. And then elbows forward, down, back. Elbows down, forward, up. And again, we're clearing out, cleaning out these repositories of tension and stagnation. We're making gears flow that often are stuck. And elbows out, one above, one below, cross. Hug. Hug your own body. Then elbows flare straight out to the side, opening all this space here. And then other one above, other below, cross. Open. Cross. Open. Cross. Open. One more. Cross. Open and down and release. Loose. So we want to feel loose here rather than held. And it's across the board, everybody, if you pay attention, when you stand up or when you move around, we just all grab right here. We just do it. And it's not helping. So loosen up that space. Keep it loose. Now, a couple things for the legs. Scoot a little bit back on your chair so you're very stable. Now we lift the right thigh and draw the heel in like a spring that's loading. Push away. Reload. Down. Other leg. Load. Push away. Reload. Down. Load and push. Load, down. Load, push. So we want freedom of movement through the whole range of the leg. And this is non-weight bearing, but that's important because as soon as we add weight, as in doing leg presses or squats and things like that, right, it starts to add tension. So we want to get this feeling of like, oh yeah, the leg can be relaxed and move through the range. Right? Now, right leg straight, point foot, flex. Point, flex. Point. And then we do what's called invert, evert. Tilt the foot in, tilt the foot out. It's this little tilting action at the ankle joint. And then we circle in, around, out. Circle. And reverse. Circle. Switch feet. Point and flex. Invert, tilt, evert, tilt. Tilt, tilt. Circle. In, around, and out. And out, around, and in. And down. Scoot forward. One more for the legs. The legs do something called external and internal rotation. Step a little wider than your hips so we have some space here. Lift your toes up so your heels are on the floor. Turn on the heel so your toes and knees point in and feel the groin area closing, kind of pinching closed. And then lift the toes and turn out and feel that space open. Close. And in Tai Chi, they call that space the qua. Open the qua. Close the qua. Open and close. open, and close. Now, neutral. From the qua, we now fold the hips forward. So it's at that same junction where the legs were moving. Now the legs don't move, but the pelvis does. So we're folding at the hips, then sitting upright, and then leaning back. So again, this shouldn't be some effortful experience, even though it's a powerful movement to fold this much, right? We'll see when we stand up how important the freedom of movement at the qua is, but it doesn't mean it has to be effortful and difficult. It's just relax. Like when we're relaxed and open, then folding works, nice and easy. Tipping back works. Now let's put that into action here. So from your sitting position, slide your feet back a little. Arms loose and relaxed. Keep them loose. As you fold from the hips, notice where my arms, shoulders, and head go in relationship to the ankle joint. So that's the key we want to work on here is you got to get in front of the ankle joint, and then you just pour the weight out of your chair down to the earth into your legs. So there's this position we need to get to before we even think about going up, because then the up is easy as pie. So the forward out of your chair is the key prerequisite. Same thing sitting down. We go butt back, shoulders and arms and head forward, fold at the qua into this position, find the chair with your butt cheeks, and then you can safely commit to the chair. And we'll do it again. Relaxed. So just notice how much you can do without adding a whole bunch of this, what they call Li. Li is clumsy, tension-based strength, as opposed to Sung, soft and relaxed, pliable and very powerful, like the power of the ocean. The ocean is very powerful, and it's not because of tension that it's powerful. It's because of this flow, right? And again, we just fold, just stay loose. Just stay loose. And especially with Parkinson's, which is the nervous system issues, right? This being in a relaxed state is almost essential for function. So it's like mastering the state of relax, and then finding you can move in that state. Now, 3 of these where you do not sit in your chair. So just watch me do one. And I always use the example of an accordion. We all know what an accordion is. An accordion, the way it's built, it's happy to be compressed all the way to here and drawn all the way open, right? The gears are built to move that way, and it's no wear and tear on the accordion, really. Same true for us. Body is happy to be like this, and the body is happy when we relax to just fold down and touch the floor or touch your toes. And notice I've sat my butt, my back is open, and then just push through the earth and rise. So think of this like an accordion turned on its vertical, and that we're just closing and opening this accordion. Stay super duper relaxed. And just sink down near the earth and then up. And so we're kind of washing the joints and we're loosening the tension in the body because we're so accustomed to standing up, stiffening up, and kind of walking with peg legs around, right? As we get more frightened, everything gets tighter. So this Tai Chi squat just directly goes into those areas and just says, let go, relax, release. Just do a couple more where you just sink and stay soft and relaxed. Let the back open. Loose arms. One more. It's easy. All right. Now, hopefully you set your space up like I described earlier with these 2 chairs. Make your way over to this right side chair. Okay, so we got help if we need it, but try to do this next part with no hands. So what they call double weighted means I'm weighted in both of my legs. Now I can still be double weighted and have a leg off the ground because I'm still tense. I'm grabbing the leg and I'm pulling it up. And so that state of being double weighted has nothing to do with your foot being on the floor or not being on the floor. So here, if you look at my body, you can probably say, oh, yeah, his weight is in that leg. And then if I go here, you can tell, oh, he's changed that. From his middle, he moved over to this leg. And now this foot is free. And it's not because I grab it and yank it somewhere. It's because I arrange the body, let this leg be relaxed enough to let the weight go through, that this leg is free. And then from the middle, you just change the arrangement of the structure and tissue. You let that standing leg not be a locked stilt. You let it be soft so that it acts like a bed spring. It takes the weight and creates more sturdiness that way. And then we change. So this is your secret Tai Chi that when you're out in the world, you're standing in line at a coffee shop or you're just standing at a stoplight, you just kind of change and go over to one side, stay there for a little bit, and then keep an idea that Zhong is still important. So even though we're changing leg to leg, what we don't want to be doing is this, right? That's what a lot of people do when we're feeling sort of frozen and stuck here, is there's all this effort up top instead of totally relaxed and then just this middle change. And then this middle change. Now, next level of the exercise. Put the weight in your right leg. Left foot should be empty. Now, lift the heel of the empty foot and try to get to the tip of the shoe. Put that heel down and then put the weight into that leg and lift the heel, get to the tip of the shoe, come down, and then change the weight. Lift, lower, shift. So what you want to find here is that the most important part of stepping isn't this leg, the moving leg. It's, did you create a safe connection to groundedness? And then this is an afterthought, the freedom of movement thing. So focus on down. That's what they say in Tai Chi. The primary direction is down. And how do we get down? We have to relax. We have to relax. We have to yield and stop grabbing. Let go. Now we use the chair for the next one because we're going to add the challenge. So put the weight in your right leg, get to your tippy toes, hand on the chair, disconnect the foot from the floor, and then place the foot back on the floor with zero weight. Change from your middle pivot so that it's full, empty, tippy toe, disconnect, whole foot reconnect, change from your middle pivot being the belly button level. Tippy toe, disconnect, reconnect while still empty, then from middle pivot, change. Tippy toe, disconnect, reconnect, change. Zhong means I could have a cappuccino cup on my head and not spill it as I change. Right, hand on chair as needed. And then we go to the final level of this exercise, weight in your right leg. Now we go all the way up. Now I'm going to just turn sideways for a second. Notice this sitting of the hip as opposed to leaning back. So this sort of sitting, that's what brings this up. And this needs to be, over time, loose. Loose foot, loose knee, loose hip. And then down, and then change. And so again, we sit the hip. And the reason I can do this is because I've got this leg arranged correctly. Then this is an afterthought. Down. And then again, you change the weight, you get the weighted leg correct, then this can happen. All the way up. Use your chair for safety so you can really practice this full range. Down. Full range. Down. Down. Lift, lower, and down. Lift, lower. Now, so that's the first little set. Second exercise. Step back from the chair, have it out in front of you so you can reach it, but it's not right next to you. So it's in front of you and to your right, because we're going to be moving forward into this little space here. So put the weight in your left leg now. This is my right, but your left. So now your inside leg, the one closest to this chair, is empty. Put it in front of you with the heel touching the ground. And notice I didn't take some huge step. I just put it right in front, just comfortable. So my weight is here, and this is here. Now, shift into that front leg and get to the tippy toe of the back leg. And then shift into the back leg, get to the tip of the heel of the front leg. So now we're moving forward and backward, but when you understand it correctly, you realize it's still down, down. So that's what keeps us from getting over our skis in either direction, is that it's just the same thing of relax, connect to the earth. Oh, relax, connect to the earth. And it's just the arrangement of the feet that take us in this direction and take us in this direction. And the cappuccino cup's still doing just fine. Right? As opposed to back, and now I'm going to fall this way, then forward, and I'm going to tip that way. It's just down and down, and you just let your arms be loose. Just relax. Now, level 2 of this exercise, take your right hand, touch the chair. From this hip, do a little straight leg lift. Lower the heel to the floor in front. Shift, get to the tippy toe of this back foot, and then like a little flamingo, just bend the knee. Put the toe back where it was. Shift back. Down. So the down gives me the freedom to lift and lower. And then down gives me the freedom to lift and lower. Continue. So if you're using chair and you start to feel pretty comfortable, you might play with no hands. Maybe. Shift, wait until it's full empty, and then you go empty leg, free to move, and then you shift and wait, and then you go, okay, it's empty, it's free to move. Shift, free to move. Down, free to move. And then the final, third level of this exercise, hand on chair for sure, all the way up, all the way down, shift. Now this back leg, we go forward and up, reach the toe back, shift back. And then it's lift, lower, shift. And then it's lift, lower, shift. So another cool poetic way of thinking about it. Mountain, got to have a mountain, and then this can be a cloud. It can just float with ease. But now I have to change that cloud into the mountain before this cannot be a mountain anymore. So it's a cloud. Right? So this differentiation, that's what they call it. Differentiate or separate empty and full is an infrastructural essential skill in Tai Chi. So we're not walking around with two weighted legs. We're going one full, one empty. And then we're changing. So it's other full, other empty. Now, side step. Get close to this chair. Put your weight in your right legs, my left, your right. Take your left foot out in front, the one closest to this chair. Put it in front, just a small amount, and then shift. So level 1. Level 1 is the best time to have no hand at all. And just get this ability to just let your weight go down to the earth. Let your weight go down to the earth. Notice how you move forward and backwards without having to do it in some overt way. You just down to the foot, down to the earth, and the body moves forward appropriately. And then back. So the Tai Chi body is just, I can just relax. You're on vacation. Be on vacation through your neck, your shoulders, your head, everything. Don't think of it as work and tension and effort. Instead, it's sung, it's soft, it's supple, it's pliable, it's easy. Use the chair to go level 2. Lift, lower, shift. Once this is full, this is empty, it's free to lift. The down gives me the up. The down. If I get the down right, then the up can be done safely. If I don't get the down right and I try to yank my body up, well, what do you think is going to happen? You're going to feel, at the very least, you're going to feel unstable. Worst case, you fall. But if we get the down right, you never fall. You're just, I'm always connected to the ground. Always. And hand on chair, level 3, whoop, up, down to the earth, and then we go forward and up, toe back, down to the earth, up, down to the earth. Staying down gives me that freedom of movement. Down, loose and free and light. And then I gotta be able to, geez, bird just hit my window, scared me. Down and back. One more. And back. All right, we switch sides again. Come back to this first setup. Make sure the chair is in front and off to the right, because now we're gonna actually take a full step. So put your weight in your left leg, right foot out in front, heel touching. So very similar to the first exercise. We shift, get to the tippy toe. Now this foot should be empty, so you can just step it and put the heel in front, empty, and then shift again. Now we go back one step. We go shift, wait for this foot to be empty, step it and keep it empty, right? Because a lot of times when people step backwards with fear and tension, the whole body goes with it. Instead of the foot is empty, just bring it back. It's empty. And then go down. Right? And then we go forward by going down, step the empty foot, down. And then we go backwards by going down. We stay in this foot that's got the weight in it and step the empty foot. Then we go a changing, right? And then we go forward, step forward. Just casual. Just let it be casual. Best part of Tai Chi and Qigong, they say Tai Chi and Qigong is like resting. Resting. That doesn't mean it's not powerful, doesn't mean it's not effective. It's just saying we got to be in this state of resting to access it. Now, level 2, lift, lower, shift. Now imagine something's on the ground you need to step over. Right? And then this has to go down empty so that we shift. A little flamingo lift of that foot, and then we go backwards, shift. Now this leg has to come up in front, tuck, and reach back without the weight going with it, and then shift. And then this little lift, lower, shift. Step over the obstacle, shift. Flamingo, remember, casual. Resting. If you don't have Zhongjung, however, Zhongjung being central upright, if you're in this position, relaxing isn't as possible. So please do your best to use the chair to have you able to feel this vertical uprightness. Because the moment you go here, now your back is having to work, your neck is having to work, right? So get that vertical line, keep that vertical line. And the chair, it's better to use the chair or a walker or a crutch or a stick and get your vertical line than it is to be a tough person and say, I don't need that, and have crappy posture, right? So you have to use intelligently what's available. Now, lift, lower, shift. Make sure you got that vertical, heel, knee, foot, down, shift, knee, reach back. Now we're going backwards. Shift, up, tuck, reach, shift. The down gives me the up. The down makes it so that I could do this, 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 and this, all with no disturbance to the equilibrium. And then there's the shift. And the down through here now allows all the way here, all the way back with no disturbance at all. And then shift. Now the down gives you the freedom of this whole movement. And then we shift. The down gives you the up. The down. Right? And so likely, especially if you're newer to the practice, when you're up here and you go to lift the leg, you're tensing, and that's understandable. But notice that that's happening, and have in your mind that over time you're going to be washing that out so that the stability you're looking for isn't more tightness. It's releasing that tightness, which feels a little scary, which is why we have the chair to practice this feeling. But then there's this settled quality that Tai Chi offers over time. But it's a weird route, but once you get there, you realize, oh, it's the most natural thing. Over to the other side. Now, we go level 1. So that's weight in your right leg, left foot out in front, casual. Just shift, step the empty foot, shift. And then shift back, step the empty foot, shift back. Just easy. Let it be so easy that you don't need a chair for this first level, maybe. If you do, great. Let's see if you can find this quality of, okay, Zhong Zheng, relax to the earth. Rely on one leg to liberate the other. Rely now on that leg to liberate the other. Now you can walk. And especially what I find so interesting with Parkinson's is, in many cases, maybe all, when you're off and you're sort of in frozen gait, more effort doesn't work. Whereas like someone maybe without Parkinson's and they're having something, they can force through it. But because of what Parkinson's is doing, more effort actually goes in the opposite direction. So you have to learn this like, wait, relax, soften, casually take a step, casually shift the weight. Now we go level 2, hand on chair for safety, lift, lower, shift. Now there's an obstacle on the ground, so we got to pick up that foot, step it over, shift. And then like a little flamingo, bend, down, shift. Now this one can be a little tricky. It's in front, bend, reach, shift back. And then from the hip, lift, lower, shift, step over, shift, bend, down, shift, up, tuck, reach, shift, lift, lower, shift. The down gives you the up. The down gives you the up. And then finally, level 3, we go hand on chair, go knee all the way up, heel down, shift. And then heel, knee, foot, down, shift. Knee, reach the toe back, shift back. And then it's up, tuck, reach, shift. Use the chair. Up, down, shift. Heel, knee, foot, down, all without any weight, and then you shift. Now the weight's here so that it's knee, and toe back still without any weight, and then shift. Up, tuck, reach, shift, shift. And then. Now, you got your setup like this. Come over to your left side. And then turn and face downrange. So you got a pretty big runway now in front, and you got your chairs on your left close enough that you can use them for support. Now, once you're there, level 1 will take about 4 or 5 steps this way, 4 or 5 steps backwards. So empty your left foot, put it out in front, and now we just shift. Right foot now empty, step it while it's still empty, and then shift. Left foot empty, step, shift. Right foot empty. So really focus on the mountain and the cloud idea, that one is a mountain, the other is a cloud, and then you change them 100%. So you're not walking around half mountain, half cloud the whole time. You're really clearly saying, okay, one is sturdy and other is empty, and then switch as you go backwards. So now it's the cloud foot that can step, and then you shift and make that cloud a mountain. The other one's a cloud, you can step it. And then shift. And then step. And shift. Step. Shift. Step. Shift. Let's do that again. And as you get better at it, you don't even have to think about it because you're just going, oh yeah, I'm relaxed. And the primary direction is down. 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 And then as you finish that one, you could choose to do a third round of the same level 1 or level 2, where it's pick up a foot and step it up and over. It could be a very small obstacle, but you pick it up off the ground and over something and then down without losing your jung, and then you shift. The empty foot, you pick it up, step it over something, put it down, shift, up and over, shift, up and over, shift. So the stability that we're looking for, where it comes from, instead of it coming from tension, it comes from being so relaxed that you have no extra density, tension, and heaviness in the body. So you're relaxed, there's nothing extra. And then that we have what's called the middle pivot, the belly button, lumbar spine level of the body. In between those points is this sort of middle of the seesaw. So as we're changing left and changing right leg and walking forward, walking backwards, inside of us, what you cultivate is a sense of stillness. So there's stillness in movement. In movement. Right? Whereas when we're tense, we're sort of rocking our boat all over the place. But when we're loose, there can be freedom of movement around our middle pivot in a way that gives us both freedom and agility and stability. That's the Taoist understanding. And it's logical. That doesn't mean it's easy. It's a simple concept, but that doesn't mean we can just do it right away. So we have to train our tissue to be more this way. So last thing we'll work on is our side steps. So come back to the left side of your space, facing forward. Put the weight in your left leg and step out and in. Out and in. Now notice what I am doing and what I'm not doing. What I'm not doing is this. Right? That's clumsy. What I am doing is putting the weight here, and this is empty and light and free to step. Right? So it's out, in, out, in. And the whole foot is landing on the floor. So I'm not just doing this. That's what a lot of people do with this when they stand up really tall and they just go here. But instead, sink through this leg and be able to step your whole foot onto the earth, opening this quad, closing this quad, opening this quad. Now, from here, shift. So now this is your full leg. This quad has to open. This foot stays on the ground. And then we go shift. So now this is full. This quad closes. This quad opens again. Quad meaning groin area. Inguinal crease. Shift. Shift. So by having the feet stay glued to the ground and then finding full and empty change back and forth, we're opening and closing this interior mechanism, the quad, which is very highly important in the cultivation of the human body. Now, stay in your right leg, left leg empty, in, out, in, out. Same idea, open quad, close quad, open, close, open, close. Now, keep the feet together, touching if you can, and change the weight to your left leg, change the weight to your right leg. How do I do that if my legs are so close together? This is where we find it has to be down. It has to be letting the knee be a little bendable. It has to be this middle pivot, sort of doing this little mechanism change. 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 So feet are together and we want to be able to go 100, 0, and then with a minute change, 100, 0, keeping zhong zhong, right? Now the weight goes in the left, step out the right. Change. Once the left is empty, in. Change. Out. Change. In. Change. Out. Change. In. Change. So there's many reasons to practice side steps, but one of the most practical for our purposes is finding the quad. Going the other way. Because in the beginning, what people do is they keep these closed and they just sort of clumsily go like this, and the quad never opens and closes. And they say, hey, I'm doing it. And I'm doing it fast, right? But it's clumsy and the potential to fall is always there. Versus here, I'm always grounded. And this is also a prerequisite for, interesting Tai Chi moves and things like that, right? Complex Tai Chi. So closing and open the quad. How's the teacup? How's the cappuccino cup on your head? Right? Are you able to have that stillness quality while traveling? Let's go there and back one more time to finish. We go slow so that we can train precision. And then once that precision is there, then you can speed it up. You go ba-ba, ba-ba, shift, step, step, shift, step, shift, step, right? And so now you start to have liveness and agility. But at first you had to slow way, way down and retrain soft, supple, and pliable. So that's the journey of Tai Chi, is slow way, way down, train your mechanisms correctly, and then over time you start to find swiftness, efficiency, safety, all the things that really we're looking for as we age, and we don't want to fall down and we want to stay mobile, right? All right, and then we finish with a simple self-massage. Hands come together, rub the palms. And with the self-massage, it's all soft, right? I'm not pressing my hands together. I'm just gentle, but then I'm not small. Big movement. Cover the ground, right? And then rub the back of the hand and cover the whole from the wrist to the fingertips, back to the wrist to the fingertips, wrist to the fingertips, wrist to the whole thing. And then palms, and then wrist to fingertips, palms, and then we go quad. Hands on the quad. We got genital area in the middle, inguinal crease on the sides, rub there. Again, soft. We're not digging. We're just on the surface, but then we're kind of vigorous, right? Promoting space, openness, looseness. And then the hip flexors, front of the upper thigh. And then the tailbone. And the lower back. And then remember your Tai Chi squat. Your butt goes back. Sit, sweep the hands down the outside of the legs, around to the inside of the legs. As you stand up, come up the inside of the legs to the navel. To the navel, to the belly button. Touch your belly button. All the way to your belly button. And then we go quad. Hip flexors. Tailbone. Low back. Outer legs down, inner legs up to the navel. We do that one more time. Quad. Hip flexor. Sacrum, tailbone, up onto your lumbar lower back, and then yang channels down the outside of the legs as you sit. Come around to the yin channels along the inside of the leg as you come all the way up to the navel. And then we finish with yang channels, turn, yin channels, and off. And we repeat on the same arm. Turn, yang, turn, yin, yang, yin. Switch. Yang, yin, yang, yin. And final gesture, wings, roll, fold, settle, down to the belly button, turn, and then seal. 1, 2. And then the Taoist hand mudra, grab, fold over, represents yin and yang, harmonizing, and the still point in between all the ups, down, left, right, front, back changes. That's what we're cultivating, is that still place. So thank you, everybody. Have a marvelous rest of your week. And if there are any questions, please feel free to unmute and ask.